Hello everyone, welcome to this session of defect lifecycle. Today we will see how a defect starts and how it ends. So this is all about defect lifecycle. So in defect lifecycle we have to also understand some precondition and post conditions. Means before raising a defect or logging a defect, we should do some pre-work, and at the end of the defect we should do some post work. Those pre-work are known as a precondition. What are those precondition? So while executing any application using a requirement, if we see the application is not behaving as per the requirement, then we will do re-verification and we will consult with the business and development team to understand whether we are expecting the correct thing or not. Based on that, we will determine yes, we should log a defect because that is a correct issue. So once this precondition is fulfilled, we will come to the defect lifecycle. So defect lifecycle starts when you determine and log a defect, and the status of the defect becomes new. And you will assign this defect to your test manager to do one round of review or verification. So a tester logs a defect, make the status new, which is the default status, and it is assigned to the test manager. Test manager sees the defect and thinks like, okay, it is okay to raise this defect. So he will make the status open and he will assign the defect to the development team or one developer. Once the defect is assigned to a developer, the developer looks into the defect and he makes the status as review. During his review, he finds the defect is not valid. So he determines whether it's a valid or not. If it is not valid, then he will reject the defect. Okay. If he finds yes, it is a valid defect, then he will fix it in the development environment and do one round of verification. And if he finds that the fix is working fine in development environment, he will move the defect to the testing environment and he will move the status of the defect as retest, and he will assign the defect to the tester. That means during retest status, developer moves the code from development environment to test environment after fixing and assign the defect to the tester who has raised this defect to retest it. So the tester now looks into the defect and he re-executes the flow where he has found the defect. Now if the tester will determine whether the fix is working or not. If it is not working, then tester will reopen the defect, and reopen flows again follow the same flow as that of open. Now let's say if tester determines yes, the defect is working fine, after the fix he will close the defect, and here the cycle ends. Even the rejected flow ends once the defect is rejected, so it also means the end. So once this life cycle is completed, which starts from new and ends in either rejected or closed, we need to do some other work like the post condition works. We have to re-verify our test case, failed test case which is linked to the defect. Once the defect is closed or rejected, we have to go back, re-execute the test case and pass the associated test case linked to this defect. So this is all about defect life cycle. So thank you for watching the video.